Alright, so welcome back to another video. So today we'll be talking about the 7 types of visas that the Netherlands has. The purpose of making this video is people been asking me how did I get to the Netherlands? What kind of visa did I use to get to the Netherlands? And not the type of visa I used basically doesn't necessarily mean that you will need the same type of visa. Maybe you're coming for business, maybe I came as a tourist, or maybe I'm coming here for studies. So different types of visas, different countries, different requirements. So that's the reason as to why I am making this video. So let's get right into the video. But first, if you haven't subscribed, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a like and comment also. It does help a lot with the algorithms. All right, so first things first, I'm a Kenyan. Came from Kenya to the Netherlands, and I traveled with an MVV visa. And yeah, been here for 10 months. Actually, now it's 11 months. I've learned a lot. There's some culture shocks. There's been a lot of positive side of it, the negative sides, and all these I'll be making in the videos in the future to come. But so to begin with, let me just make a video about the visa types that the Netherlands has. Then from there we can pick up and create more videos. The Netherlands has 7 types of visas, and these visas are the SSV, that's the short stay visa, the MVV, then we have the entry visa, Caribbean visa, the airport transit visa, the Schengen visa facilitation, and last but not least, that's the orange carpet facility visa. All right, so those are 7 types of visas we'll be checking out today. And to begin with, let's start with the airport transit visa. Airport transit visas, for example, is a visa whereby you want to change aircrafts in the Netherlands. So you need to have an airport transit visa, and this type of visa does not allow you to go through immigration, and also it does not allow you to go through, or rather to the Netherlands, through security to the Netherlands. No, it only allows you to change aircrafts while you are at the airport. The second type of visa, that's the SSV, that's the short stay visa. These are type of visa that allows you to stay within the Netherlands for a period of 90 days or less. And they usually in the visa they give you around 180 days, but within the 180 days you're required to stay only 90 days. So when you surpass the 90-day period, you definitely will get a ban. And the ban, it is not only ban in the Netherlands, but it will ban you from visiting any EU country. Remember, there are 27 EU countries and plus Switzerland. Switzerland is not an EU country, but you can visit Switzerland with a Schengen visa. So if you surpass the 90-day period, you will be banned from visiting all the EU countries, and the ban can last up to a period of 3 years. It depends. Maybe by the time you'll be watching this video, it will be more or less, but currently it's 3 years. Visa type number 4, we have the orange carpet facility visa. Orange carpet facility visa is a visa for if you regularly travel to the Netherlands and you're doing business. You can check with your country, because not all countries are eligible to get this type of visa. Kenyans, yes, they're eligible to get the orange type facility visa, and you can check with the website or the Dutch embassy to see if you qualify to get this type of visa. And also remember that the orange visa facility type does not guarantee, or rather does not cater for your family. It is only you and you alone if you're coming for business. So it's not you coming for business with your family. It does not cater for that. All right. Then the other type of visa we have is the Schengen visa facility. This is a type of visa for EU members only. That is EU, the EEA, and Switzerland. So if you are from a country that's not within the EU, the EEA, and the the Switzerland, you are not eligible to get this visa. Only members, or other members from nationals of these countries are allowed to get this visa. And this visa, it is also a visa that allows you to stay within the Schengen area for a period of 90 to 100, no, so a period from 90 days, but they also give you a 180-day period, so you can stay for 90 days and not longer than 90 days. Yeah, I think that's about it on the Schengen visa. All right, the other type of visa we have is the MVV visa. The MVV visa, that is the long stay visa. And with this type of visa, it is the visa whereby enables you to travel from your country of origin to the Netherlands. Once you arrive to the Netherlands, they give you a residence permit. Remember, that's the type of visa it came with. So you travel, the visa itself is a period of 3 months. After 3 months, it expires. You won't use it again. But once you travel with it, you get to the Netherlands, you are required to receive your residence permit. It depends which permit, whether it's temporary or permanent permit. And also remember, the residence permits, they do have an expiry date. So once you get your residence permit, then you do not even require a visa to travel. For example, if the MVV expires after 3 months, you can be able to travel with the residence permit outside Netherlands, then come back with the rest. Just you need to show the immigration your residence permit. And with the residence permit also, you can travel within the EU countries across Europe, within the 27 plus Switzerland and the EEA countries with the residence permit. The other type of visa we have is the Caribbean visas. And the Caribbean visa is a visa also whereby you're allowed to travel to the Caribbean parts of the Netherlands. And these Caribbean parts of the Netherlands, we have Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, we have Saba, St. Eustatius, and also we have St. Martin. And for you to be able to travel in these Caribbean parts of the Netherlands, you're not allowed to travel to the EU part of the Netherlands if you have a Caribbean visa. That's a point to note. And not everyone is allowed to, to have a Caribbean visa. Some countries are allowed, some countries are not allowed. So you can check on the website to see whether you're allowed or not. As a Kenyan, yes, you're allowed to have a Caribbean visa if you want to visit the Caribbean parts of the Netherlands. And under Caribbean parts, under Caribbean visas, there are 2 types of visas: the long-term visa and the short-term visa. The long-term visa is a period of more than 90 days. The short-term visa is a period of 90 days or less. Well, those are 6 visas. The last visa was the entry visa. And the entry visa is a type of visa that, for example, in my case, I have a residence permit. Then I travel to Kenya, my home country. Then I lose my residence permit. So when I want to come back to the Netherlands, I will require to apply for what is called an entry visa. An entry visa will allow you to get to the Netherlands to be able to apply for a residence permit again. And remember, you are only allowed to apply for an entry visa if your residence permit was still eligible, or rather had not expired. So entry visa, one more time for those who do not understand, is if you have a residence permit, just apply for an entry visa once the residence permit is lost or stolen. All right, so I think, yeah, those are the 7 types of visas. And you can check with your country to see whether you really need a visa to come to the Netherlands. And also visiting the Caribbean parts of the Netherlands, remember, there are countries that do not need visa to travel to these areas. As a Kenyan, definitely we need to have a visa. You need to have a visa to travel to the Netherlands. And with the Schengen visa, remember, also a point to note is that you can travel to any EU states. These are 27 countries, also plus the Switzerland, without with no border lines. Remember, you can travel to any freely to all the 27 countries. All right. What else do you need to know about these types of visas? Is that so here are just a few pointers that you should know before traveling to the Netherlands. So, if you want to study in the Netherlands and you're from the EU, the EEA, or Switzerland, you do not need a residence permit. You can just come like that. Um, Besides the valid passport, you need to show sufficient valid means to fund your stay for at least 1 year. And also, has your application been approved? You can collect your provisional permit from the Dutch embassy or consulate that is specified in the application form. After arrival in the Netherlands, after register, you can register with the municipality. You'll be notified by the immigration and the naturalization services or the IND when you can collect your residence permit, just like I did. Students from certain non-EU countries are required to go through the tuberculosis test within 3 months after receiving their permit, and that is something that I also did. I didn't come here as a student, but once I got here, once I received my residence permit, after 3 months, you're required to go for a tuberculosis test, which I did. Went to the doctors, or rather the government office. They have their own doctor. The doctor injected me on my left hand. He said it was protein, just on my forearm here. Injected me, then told me to come, I think, after 4 or 5 days. Came back, he told me that I do not have, just a slight reaction, but that means I'm good. But I think if you have tuberculosis, it's going to be a problem, because that's the only injection, or rather, that's the only disease they're checking for. Unlike other countries, they check for yellow fever. I did not have even to do a yellow fever to come to EU countries. I only did tuberculosis test, and that's if when you arrive in the Netherlands, receive your residence permits, and after 3 months, that's when you go for the test, the tuberculosis test. Point to note: to be able to retain your permit, you must be able to make sufficient study progress, and a residence permit is proof of your legal status in the Netherlands. So just remember, make sure you follow the proper steps and check with the IND for your specific circumstances. By doing so, it shows a smooth start of your study in the Netherlands, for example, if you are a student. So in summary, these 7 types of visas, I'll go through them real quick. So you have the SSV, that's the short stay Schengen visa, or you're only allowed to stay within 90 to 180 day period that you're given. With this type of visa, you can visit as a tourist, visit family members, visit for business trips, and visit your spouse if you have one. Visa type number 2 is the MVV, that's the long stay visa. Once you get to the Netherlands, you'll be able to receive a residence permit if you have this type of visa. And also the MVV depends also, maybe you're coming for a business trip and it's longer than 90 days. So you get a long stay, that's the MVV. And the MVV visa, it's usually, I think, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. All right, so visa type number 4, or rather number 3, is the entry visa. Entry visa, this allows you to re-enter back to the Netherlands. For example, if you have a residence permit, then it gets lost while you're outside the Netherlands, you can apply for an entry visa to get back to the Netherlands to be able to get a new type residence permit. So visa type number 4, we have the airport transit visa. This allows you to change aircrafts within the airport. And remember, this visa does not allow you to get into the Netherlands, and does not allow you to go through immigration. The other types of visa is the Caribbean transit visa, or the Caribbean visa. This Caribbean visa is a type of visa that allows you to visit the Caribbean parts of the Netherlands. That's around 5 types. There are the 5 islands: the Curacao, the Saint Martin, and the rest. And with the Caribbean visa, you're not allowed to visit the EU part of the Netherlands. Number 6, we have the Schengen facilitation visa, and this one is a type of visa that it's only for the EU, people around the EU, the EEA, and Switzerland. Remember, Switzerland is not an EU country, but does not have border control. So once you're in the EU, you can be able to travel to also to the Switzerland countries. So the Schengen visa facilitation is only for the EU member states, the EEA, and Switzerland. So if you're a member of a national within the EU, EEA, and Switzerland, you can apply for the Schengen visa facilitation. Last but not least, that's the orange carpet visa facilitation. And this type of visa, you can only apply it if you travel regularly to the Netherlands for business. And not all countries are eligible to apply for this type of visa. So you can check with the embassy, you can check with the website to see whether you are eligible for this type of visa. All right, so without any further ado, I hope that information was really informative. It was short to the point. There's so much. Whatever I give you was just a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of information to it, so you can just find more information on the website about your country and what you need, because different countries, different requirements. All right. So without any further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment below anything you need to know, or rather any videos you want me to make. And yes, I will see you in the next one. Peace.